one of the cruelest emperors, ended slavery. Genghis Khan had a difficult upbringing, to put it mildly. After his father was killed when he was 9, he grew up with a single mother. Even worse, according to the secret history of the Mongols, the earliest work of literature in the Mongolian language, Genghis Khan was enslaved by a rival tribe, the Tayichiud, while he was a youth. In this video, we are going to talk about Genghis Khan, so make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Temujin was Genghis Khan's name at the time, his birth name before he became the leader of the Mongols and a great conqueror. Genghis Khan had a reputation for banning slavery among the Mongols, despite being responsible for the deaths of millions of people, and this policy must have been influenced by his own personal experiences. But if someone had not set Genghis Khan free from servitude when he was a boy, he would never have achieved the status of Genghis Khan. The name of such person is unknown to most people. Temujin suffered in 1177 when he was a slave. One day, Temujin managed to get away from his captor and hide in the river. Sorkhan Shira, a soldier, felt sorry for Temujin and said, "The Tayichiud are terrified of you since you are a smart young guy. They claim that your face is filled with light and that your eyes are filled with fire. Simply remain where you are. I'm not going to let them know I saw you." Sorkhan Shira appeared to continue looking while watching out for other troops looking in the river. He ordered other soldiers to do additional searches in the same areas. Temujin was instructed to remain still in the river by Shira as he walked past it. Other troops were discouraged from continuing their search by Shira. How could they hope to find him at night after they lost him in broad daylight? To enable the Tayichiuds to find him again in the morning, he urged the other warriors to get some rest. A Kong, a tool used for public humiliation and punishment in East Asia, was around Temujin's neck. Temujin would have been quite noticeable to anybody who saw him if his cane looked anything like the image above. With a Kong around his neck, how far can he go? She inquired. Before ultimately turning in for the night, the search team decided to conduct one more search. Shira paid Temujin one last visit, making certain he remained in the river and taking precautions to protect himself. He ensured Temujin wouldn't disclose Sorkhan to anybody. Shira observed him in case he was apprehended. Two of Sorkhan Shira's sons, Chimbai and Chilagun, had compassion on Temujin one night by removing the collar to help him sleep. Temujin had great affection for Sorkhan Shira's family and had faith in them to release him. He ignored Sorkhan Shira's instructions nevertheless. Temujin left the river and went in search of Sorkhan Shira's tent. He heard the sounds of jars being filled with mare's milk, since he knew Sorkhan Shira and his family prepared fermented mare's milk. Shira frightened when Temujin discovered and entered her tent. "Why are you in this place? I told you to go locate your mother and brothers, didn't I?" Shira wished to eject Temujin from the tent because she was worried about being discovered. He was seeking their shelter, according to his two kids. Therefore, they had to keep him in the tent. Temujin's Kong was taken out and placed in the fireplace by Chimbai and Chilagun. They concealed Temujin in a wagon of wool and had their sister pull him out to assist him escape the Tayichiud camp. The family waited too long though. After 3 days, the search crew concluded that Temujin must have been hidden somewhere in the camp. So they went through every tent. They searched everything inside Sorkhan Shira's tent. They checked inside the chests and below the mattresses. They eventually turned to look at the wool cart and began pulling some wool out of it. However, before they dug too far, Shira halted the searchers. How could someone endure the heat while being covered in so much wool? The troops departed after stopping mid-search and leaving. Temujin was forced to depart after the fear that nearly resulted in the death of Sorkhan Shira and his entire family. But Shira made sure Temujin was nourished before he departed. He gave him a big lamb to eat and 2 buckets of mare's milk. Temujin was a mare. Shira also saw that. To ensure the youngster wouldn't go hunting on the way back, but could fight back if captured, he handed him a bow and 2 arrows. Temujin traveled a great distance to find his family once more. Without Sorkhan Shira, it would not have been possible. In a bloody struggle that cost many lives, Genghis Khan decimated the Tayichiud clan 24 years later when he rose to power. Genghis Khan was shot in the neck by an arrow during the conflict, but a general was able to extract the poison from his blood and save his life. He reconnected with Sorkhan Shira and his family during the conflict. Sorkhan Shira's daughter Kadagan was the first to reach Genghis Khan's camp. She identified herself as Sorkhan Shira's daughter and said that Genghis Khan's warriors had taken her husband hostage. Kadagan pleaded with Genghis Khan to save her husband's life while Sorkhan Shira's son-in-law was on death row. "I cried and yelled for you, thinking that Temujin would save you." In order to save her husband, Genghis Khan dismounted, gave Kadagan a bear embrace, and then rode up the mountain, but her spouse was already murdered by his men. Kadagan's husband has been killed by his soldiers, yet he nevertheless had her sit with him at dinner at camp. Sorkhan Shira and another well-known commander, Jibi, presented their allegiances to Genghis Khan the next day after being hauled before him. Both were swiftly accepted as commanders of his army by Genghis Khan, who had particular praise for Sorkhan Shira. "You and your boys removed the Kong from my collar and the wood from my neck. Why did it take you so long to come with me?" Sorkhan Shira said that he had to protect his family and that the Tayichiuds would have slain his entire family if he hadn't joined Genghis Khan sooner. He awaited the day when he could both join Genghis Khan and save his family. Shira and his sons would become Genghis Khan's army generals. Genghis Khan granted a mingan, or ruler of 1,000 households, to 95 of his most dependable generals when he founded his empire and imperial guard. Each general was therefore in charge of 1,000 warriors for upcoming conquests. For rescuing him from servitude, he would do everything for Sorkhan Shira. Shira requested the freedom to set up camp anywhere he pleased, but Genghis Khan was giving discretion on the other prizes. He was given the opportunity to camp and more by Genghis Khan. All of Sorkhan Shira's descendants would be free men, he claimed, and could drink holy wine. He exonerated Sorkhan Shira and his kids from legal repercussions and punishment. When they fought other civilizations and adversaries, he permitted Sorkhan Shira and his sons to keep any loot they might have found.